Scream Fortress is back in the casual queue, and Valve has scrounged up some popular cosmetics and maps for us to play in. I spent the last few weeks playing Halloween maps to get familiar with casual again. So how about we talk about what treats Valve have gotten us? I'll push the review for the cosmetics till the end, but before that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on my next video. Please do all that before the undead zombies finally eat me. But let's check out the new game mode and its maps. That's right, a new game mode, Zombie Infection. It looks to be a community-made mode that is surprisingly more polished looking than vs Saxton Hale. And all the maps were working on day one. Instead of red versus blue, we start out with everyone on red being a regular merc. Red gets a short setup time before the zombies spawn, when someone randomly becomes blue and the first zombie. Blue players are the undead mercs that have to turn the red team before the end of the match to win. You either want to be someone avoiding zombies by yourself as a power class, or nesting up with engineers and protecting an area of the map. As cool as it is to defend against the blue undead waves, the really exciting part comes with how each zombie merc plays out. If you're familiar with Left 4 Dead at all, the mercs take on a kind of twisted, special infected look with abilities tied to them. But also, you have to go and pick yourself up a copy of Left 4 Dead 2. It's probably less than $5 during the Halloween sale, come on. It's tons of fun with friends. Scout gets a really cool passive called Speed Demon, which makes him move faster and triple jump. Your low health pool means that you're more likely to be cannon fodder for the red sentries and heavies, but it also helps with hunting down the lone wolf players towards the end of the rounds. The zombie soldier gets a hunter-like leap, allowing you to stomp on any living player's head to deal damage, which is pretty useful for the more vertical maps. Zombie Pyro is immune to all fire damage, and once they die, your Hell Spawn ability activates. You basically pop a gas passer-like cloud to flush out the living who are all huddled together. And while you're undead though, all your melee attacks set people on fire. They really took Pyro and said let's make him a smoker. Now Zombie Demo gets one of the goofiest abilities. With a click of your mouse, your blast charge ability activates, making you invulnerable and immobile before charging forward with the power of 1000 K-Burs. Well, it's actually like 275 damage, but still. But it's insanely funny to see a zombie demo man miss their charge and just explode into a wall. With the power and abundance of Demo Knights in this game mode, I have been seeing them all over. Heavy basically personifies the role of the tank, just hitting hard with a ton of resistances to damage. And if you manage to punch an Engineer's sentry, it gets instantly destroyed. Engineer gets an EMP grenade that disables a building like a charged Cowmingler shot, but it also does a huge chunk of damage to the building as well. So if you're undead and all your former teammates are hurdled together in a sentry nest, you better throw some EMP grenades their way. The tainted undead medic still heals teammates, but also grants Ubers to other zombies around you for a short time. I don't know if the forcing into third person is intended, but either way, it's another powerful zombie effect that's also really fun to push through onto the red team with. Our New Zealander zombie becomes the spitter form from Left 4 Dead, which if you don't know, basically means he hacks up a ball of acid at players and buildings that does damage over time. But you still take a nice chunk of damage out of people from a distance if you can aim the ball well enough. And last but not least is the Spy Zombie. His ability is just screaming in an area. It reveals any living players close to him with a bright red outline, which is so useful for finding red spies who think they can hide from the hordes of the undead. The Zombie Infection game mode doesn't take place in regular maps though. Just under half of the new 12 maps added with Scream Fortress are in this game mode. So let's just quickly take a look at them. Atoll is the first map, which is just a small island dotted with a few small buildings. In the center is a huge lighthouse towering way overhead. Devastation takes place on the inside of a collapsed parking garage. This is one of the maps where verticality is really important, because basically you can see all the way down to the bottom of the map from the top floor here. Another new map, Murky, takes place right on the edge of a swamp connected to a building with sewage outlets. It's basically Team Fortress 2's version of Hard Rain, right? Sanitarium is another really cool map that looks like it's taking place inside of a broken down mental hospital. There's actually quite a few rooms for Red Team to group up in and make a really powerful nest. And last but not least is Woods. Kinda like the other maps, the name kinda just reveals exactly what it is. A small wooded area right on the edge of a lake. Getting out of the Zombie Infection game mode, let's move on to the other maps added with Scream Fortress. We get a new payload map called Corruption that looks like it's taking place outside of an old rundown asylum. Just like a few other maps in Scream Fortress, there's a way to reach the underworld, where in here, it takes place in a rundown hospital, where once you escape, you're rewarded with Uber and crits. We also get a reskinned gravel pit that's called Lava Pit. And this map looks great. I think it's the best looking reskin for Halloween that we've had in a while, and because Gravel Pit's already a pretty good map, it just feels really good to play on. Valve heard our prayers and added more player destruction maps. Mansylvania has you pick up blood bags from killed players, instead of the buckets of fish they had to feed the cute seal last time. We get an arena map that's called Perks, where between rounds, you vote on what perk you want to bring into a battle for your entire team. At first I didn't like it, but the game mode started to actually grow on me. I'd say this one map is my favorite addition in this update so far. We get a reskin of Medieval Mode's The Greek Keep, called Sandcastle, which really takes me back to playing old Gmod maps. If you just look up and around a bit, you'll notice that you're in someone's sandbox in their backyard. And of course, there are spells here that you can get from either on top of the castle or inside the portal on the side of the map. We get another nighttime Koth map called Slime. After one team caps, from the side of the map with the water on it, strange fishmen come up and attack everyone. And every so often, a powerful spell spawns in the water as well. Last but not least, we get another payload map called Spineyard. Spineyard? I don't know, it's not a vineyard. But it looks like another European city with an ancient castle. Just be careful when capping points, because once you do, undead mafia men come out of the ground and shoot at you with Tommy guns. I think they're slightly overtuned, but once you kill them, you get a cool spell to play with, so it's alright. And finally, onto the cosmetics. Just so you know, Valve did not add any war paints. The next snap is just a funny partner taunt that you can do with either opponents or your team. Soldier snaps every merc's neck differently, and they all react differently as well, so try it out with everyone. Demo gets a neat little taunt just called the Roar of War, where he shouts a battle cry holding up his melee weapon. Medic gets the Borrowed Bones taunt, where he has the skeleton wave at you before putting it back away. I think Medic was long overdue for a skeleton taunt. And the last new taunt is Crypt Keeper, where Spy strikes a post like a vampire and falls backwards into a coffin. While in it, you can actually shake around a bit before jumping back out. Finally, here I'll let you just take a look at the new cosmetics that come out of the case. Although every morning in the US, servers are full of bots and Valve never gave us Halloween spells, I think Scream Fortress this year has been really fun. Let me know what you're enjoying most about Scream Fortress, and I'll be sure to read it while I'm working on my next big video. Hopefully you've hit like, commented, and subscribed so I can keep improving this wacky motion capture stuff. I've only just started using it to animate this past week, like literally this past week alone, so expect to see it look a little bit better when the 1 month of heavy video releases. And hey, since you've made it this far, have a quick little teaser as to what the opening relates to. Peace.